But Imma do it, god dadgummit, because I told myself I was gonna do a podcast. I was gonna get back into podcasting because I gotta get all the stuff out before they really take away our freedom of speech, right? Anyway, alright, you guys. Does it feel does it ever get boring being gorgeous? Honey, I just found out I was gorgeous about 5 years ago. Let me tell you what, it took a long time to really be like, "I am a fine ass bitch." Too late. Not too late. I don't know what you mean. You trying to rage bait me, son? Freddie, you had it all along. I see what you did there. I'm gonna see what you did there. Freddie Lisbon. Anyway, sorry, I'm talking to TikToker. Thank you, Freddie. You had it all along. I know, right? Trying to wait for other people to validate you is crazy when it's all in here. All in here. Freddie, you gonna stay for me to record my podcast? I'm on live right now, but I'm getting ready to actually get into it. Amen. Amen. Let's see, Freddie. Thank you, Freddie. I appreciate you actually talking to me. I'm gonna give you a little bit of a follow. And if you wanna yes, let's work. Okay, you finna sit. Alright, so I'm gonna tell you a little bit about myself. Now, the title the title of it says Adventures of Ada. That is my children's books, okay? But what I talk about is called Cosigns and Tangents. So I just don't want you to get it mixed up. I accidentally changed my title to my books, and my children's books are separate. So the opinions and everything are not represented by the children's books. But if you have children, Freddie, me and my book partner wrote children's books to teach kids and their parents about Africa one country at a time. We started out with Nigeria, but this is Kenya. This is the second book. So I just wanted you to know that. But I'm going to talk about some real stuff, Freddie, so don't be scared. Just don't be scared. They're going to like you. So, anyway. And if you want to like the screen, that would be really great. I'm trying to, thank you so much. I am trying to get out of capitalism's grip one video at a time. So, all right. Okay. All right. I got one person listening on TikTok. I got one person listening on Twitch. And you know what? We do what we gotta do. All right. So what's up? What's up? What's up, everybody? This is your girl, Say No Win, and I'm back again, honey. I may be your friend. I may be your foe. I don't know. But all I know is the world is crazy. And you're not as crazy as you think you are. We are hanging in by the hem of his garment, by the stars and the moon, whatever you want to talk to, honey, we're hanging in by there. If you don't want to talk to nothing but the endless void, honey, there is still something out there listening to our cries. And I'm hoping that whatever's trying to take us down will no longer have that much power over us. But we have to fight nevertheless. But anyway, so I am so happy to be here with you all. I usually do a live every Monday at 10 a.m. The last 2 weeks, I have not been on it, I ain't gonna lie. The last week was my birthday. I turned 40. Kira! Sorry, my girl. I love her. What's up, Cookie Collection, boo? Thank you so much for liking the live. I really appreciate you, boo. Oh, and Freddie. Say hey to Freddie. Kira, there's Freddie. Freddie, there's Kira. She make bomb-ass cookies, and she's an entrepreneur as well. So what up if you're local? If you're local in Tennessee area, you need to hit her up. But anyway, so I was getting ready to talk about, she said, hey, Freddie. I love, see, we making friends. Anyway, so, I was just talking about, me turning 40. I turned 40, 5 days ago. Well, 6 days ago. Turned 40 6 days ago. So far, 40 doesn't hurt as bad as I thought it was gonna be. It's like immediately notice changes with my body. I've been noticing changes with, getting hot spontaneously. I get really, really hot and I'm sweating. And honey, I feel like a molten lava. Okay? Molten lava. If y'all don't mind, please share as well. Let people know. This is exciting to see a podcast live. Yay! Freddie! I knew I was gonna like you. My dad's real name was Fred, so we called him Charlie Freds. Freddie, I like you. I like you a lot. I appreciate y'all liking the live. But anyway, so I turned 40 on the 25th, and I was in the grips of depression. I ain't gonna lie, honey. I was sad because the day before, I'm gonna go deep. Like I said, Freddie and Kira, it might say Adventures of Ada. These are children's books, but we're gonna talk about adult things. So what happened was that our government said, all lives and just pew pew somebody else in the street. And that had me in my feels. I'm just being honest with it. As just as a Black person, as a person in general, but definitely I'm Black first. Always, every day. I was born Black and I would die Black. And I'm gonna live as Black as I can. But I know watching at first couldn't watch the video just because I don't like seeing anyone get taken away at all. But watching that really put a a damper on me wanting to celebrate, to be honest. I had some great cinnamon rolls by Kira. I had some fantastic cinnamon rolls from the cookie collection. So delicious. But they didn't last the whole weekend. But watching that, it just tore my heart out because my parents, and if you've been following me for a while, but I got some new folks, Freddie, hey, some new folks. My parents were born in the 1940s, and so they lived through Jim Crow. They lived through um, Jim Crow, segregation laws, civil rights movement, and my dad marched in. Oh, hold on, let me answer, Reggie. No judgment. What you want?
Man, what the heck is Overstock Warehouse?
I'm on live. Yes, because I'm on live right now.
Go ahead, do your thing.
Where you gonna put your podcast out there? Speaking of,
I don't know. I need to.
oh, Reggie, bye. I had to do that because he always calls. He's one of my new friends. He always calls randomly, and I'm like, anyway. But yeah, so I will tell y'all what Overstock Warehouse is later. So my parents were born in the 1940s. And they marched in the I Am a Man because I'm from Memphis, and they marched in the I Am a Man rally. And my dad actually went to Martin Luther King's last speech in that church. Hello, Nguyen. Is it Ding? Day? I'm sorry. But he sounds like a keeper. He ain't mine. We're friends. But anyway, so he marched in there. So my family has been Black history. So just seeing, we shouldn't be going through this shit in the 2025 and 26, right? We shouldn't be fighting fascism. We shouldn't be fighting anti-intellectualism. We shouldn't be fighting each other. Point blank, period. All these things, these battles that we keep fighting, and having to fight our government in 2025 to 26 is crazy. I don't know why I'm hanging on to 2025. 2025 was rough. I wonder what Dad would say about the events today. I wonder too, Charlie Fred, that was my papa's name. Very outspoken. That's where I learned to get my yapping from. And he would be like, "One, this is some crazy shit. Like, why are we doing this?" And then he would be like, "Oh, damn, get you a gun." Well, my dad loved to get me random weapons all the time. Like he loved a little machete. And he definitely probably would have sent me a little taser because he gave me 2 tasers, some flashlights. He did not like the dark. I had a hard hat, a brick. Like, I would have random weapons. And he said the favorite weapon he wanted me to use was my body. He said, if somebody try to get you, better fall on him and squish his ass to death. And I'm like, okay, Dad. So you calling me fat? He said, no, you're beautiful. I said, I didn't say that. Fat and beautiful are not the same. I mean, fat and ugly are not synonymous. 1 is a body shape. 2 is an object, a standard, honey. And that is what I have. I'm fat and beautiful, honey. I'm pretty, hot, and tempting. Okay? Anyway, so my dad I think he would be like, what are we doing? Why are we going backwards? He literally fought for freaking civil rights. And something, Freddie, I will tell you this, Freddie. I am a millennial. I am a feminist, but a lot of people don't know what feminist is. A feminist is a person who believes in equality. I believe in equality for all, no matter your age. Well, yeah, as long as you're 18. That's weird. I believe in equality of all. I want children to be respected and safe from harm. All those who are unable to speak for themselves to be safe from harm. And I believe that if we stop hurting people, we wouldn't have to create laws to protect folks. So anyway, I just wanted you to know who I am a little bit, Freddie Free. So just anyway, I'm going back. This is co-sides and tangents, Freddie, because I like to go on a tangent. Okay. You're gonna have to follow me. I'm ADD as hell. I could go up and down and come back around. And it more than likely will go back to slavery because that's what I think the root of all evil really is, at least for America and its inception. But anyway, so yeah, so I turned 40 6 days ago, and watching the videos of Alex Peretti tore my heart out. Watching the videos of Renee Good, I tore my heart out. There was no videos of Keith Porter, but that doesn't make his life and the way his life ended any less impactful. He was the first man to be murdered by ICE on January 1st. Like, let's start the year out with the sacrificial lamb of an innocent person. And an innocent black man at that. And just keep on going week after week. There's been more deaths with people who are in ICE custody. There's children. There's children. And for a country that says that we want to protect the children by no more spontaneous miscarriages, we want to protect the children, but we ain't been doing such a good job of it, you know? Like, I write children's books to teach kids, one country at a time, about Africa, one country at a time. That does no harm. I have no agenda, but just for people to know that Africa is not a country. It's a continent, and that there's 54 countries, you know? But it's just sad to see the world that we grew up believing that we will help shape just go in such a regressive going back regressively. Hello, hello, how you doing, Britt made it? What's up? I love that name. Wow, Moon Girl. Hello, I love the moon. K3, what it do? He already gone. They be leaving Brady, they be leaving, honey. Tell them to stay. Tell them to stay. Have a good time. We're just recording a podcast. But so just seeing that the damage that we're doing to our own people in our own country it was disheartening. And it also may have something to do with hormone shifts or whatever when you're in your 40s. Apparently that just happens all the time. But yeah, I spent the first few days of my 40th year in depression on my couch, leather and comfortable, watching movies, being safe from harm. That's the scary part. I love being outside. But lately, over the last year, home has won because of money. Money ain't money. Money ain't money like it used to. I don't know about you, Freddie. I ain't pocket watching. But money ain't money like it used to. So it's just easier to spend less money by staying in. But also, I don't know, I'm not sure how old you are, Freddie, but as a person in my face who went to school with all her friends, and then everybody if you're getting married, if you're single and you don't have a lot, and all your friends are married and single, married with children, and they're busy with their own lives, and you get it deep down, you understand that they have other things going. But when you're over here just solo doloing, talking to people out there in the world, hello, Dr. 1906, are you Alpha? What's up? I'm an Ishiro Iya. If you're, 1906 I've only seen. Anyway, I'm not finna. That tangent mind, honey. I be going down a tangent. But what's up if you 06? But if you're not, what's up anyway? Cosines and Tangents podcast about, whatever the heck I feel like. Tell him, Freddie. Tell him I'm great. You just spoke with me. I did. Okay, hey, welcome back then. But anyway, what I was talking about? Sorry. But yeah, I just find that, I just want to be safe. I crave safety above all. I crave keeping my money in my pockets because anytime I go outside, I step outside, I'm spending about $50 or more. And that's not even a grocery store visit. That's not even just gas, honey. This is me trying to live life and experience life and spend my hard-earned money on something besides bills, besides rent. and my car note. Thank God that it's paid. Amen. Oh, it's Reggie. Oh, hey, Freddie is Reggie. Anyway, he said, you sound like a keeper. I said, honey, he is kept already. He's good and kept, but he's a good friend. So what up? Anyway, so I spent my 40th birthday on my couch, watching TV, doom scrolling, playing a comfy game on my thing, safe and sound and away from, the ice. The ice from the sky and the ice from the places. You know, if you didn't get that. And because they're getting closer and closer. I know I am in northern Georgia and they are in Atlanta. And I am not a immigrant. I am what they call a foundational Black American, even though I don't really follow the ideology of hating on all people of the diaspora, which the diaspora wars are fake. They are created by bots in the government for us not to have allies. I don't know if y'all knew that or not. It's created for us not to have any allies at all. Every time there was a new culture or a new type of people that came to America that did not fit the quintessential ideas of white people, whiteness, they were Black, honey. Irish, Polish, German, the Asians, all of them, honey, they were considered with us, but then they were like, oh, wait. If the natives and the Black people, if they start talking to each other, then their numbers will add to their numbers, and then eventually they will outnumber us. So let's not treat Irish people like shit and Polish people like crap and German people like this and da 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 da. Let's all bring them into the clan of whiteness, okay? Because white supremacy is what? Not real. But it also gives you an opportunity not to be treated as a third, fourth class citizen if you look the part, play the part. But I'm just a nigga with a phone in the pocket. Hey Abel, how you doing? Try not to show y'all my bro. But anyway, so it's just the world is really weird right now. It's really hard. It's really scary. And I found being safe and sound, warm and cozy in my house, eating Jamaican food. There's a Jamaican spot where I live called Fa Me Pot Fi. Come on, I need all the people to go there. All the Caucasians to the back and go get you some Jamaican food. Sorry. I speak in memes sometimes, Freddie, just so you know. Hey, Raul, you got a nice beard. Chavez. What's up? Let's see. What else? Okay. So I just wanted to make sure I touch bases on just how fear is at the surface of everything right now. And I'm trying not to function in fear. I'm trying not to stay in a fearful mindset. Just because I know it has the tendency to hold everyone back. Right now, me just getting on live, talking to strangers. What up, Freddie? I got 4 people. What's up, Kiki? Hello, Raul. Mr. Chavez. Chavez? Forgive me. I am terrible. But I thank you for stopping by. I hope you stay. My name is Saina. I am the host of Co-Sides and Tangents. But I have children's books called Adventures of Ada, teaching kids about Africa one country at a time. Yeah! Got it. I pronounced it right. Anyway, so I'm just talking about the world right now. It's scary. I do talk about real stuff. Please don't lump the children's books with it. Just so you know, the podcast is called Co-Sides and Tangents, and we're talking about grown stuff. The world is crazy. I don't like ice. I don't even like ice in my freaking water. I like it room temperature. Anyway, so I was just talking about how my 40th birthday, I spent it watching a man get pew-pewed unnecessarily by our government and watching a whole bunch of people be like, this is crazy. They're killing people in the streets. And Black folks being like, yeah, we've been telling y'all that for decades. Since we got here, we've been telling y'all that since we got here. But unfortunately, there is a tendency not to see Black and brownness as human. That's something y'all have to confront within yourselves. Y'all got to start decolonizing your own white supremacy. And y'all don't have to do it out loud, honey. You could just read a book. You can listen to podcasts. The 1619 project on Spotify, wherever you find anything, really broke down America in a form that I was like, everything does lead back to slavery. I told you I was going to bring back to slavery, Freddie. I told you. Everything leads back to slavery. And the reason why slavery, American slavery, is so different, and I'm doing this for free, in hopes that one day I would get paid for educating you people. And I'm talking about all you people, not just any particular people. But I want you all to be free as well. And being stuck with ideas of white supremacy and it being better than viewing your neighbor or anyone as human is not what's up. We always talk about what slavery did to the black people, but we don't actually talk about what slavery did to the white people, the slave owners, also the people who couldn't afford slaves, enslaved bodies. And I talked about this with a friend of mine, how slavery, Christianity, white supremacy, patriarchy all intersects to make this wonderfully awful concoction of superiority that does no one any good. It don't. It does nobody any good. It got people seeing it. It has people from the Caucasus Mountains thinking that black people have just been lying this whole time about how we've been treated by this country. And then y'all see two people get shot, y'all up in your arms. Imagine there's been over 150 black and brown people shot by the police over the last 5 years. Unarmed. And we've only really gotten justice for like 3. Like Ahmaud Arbery, that was like I literally cried. Derek Chauvin, and then also Sandra, not Sandra Bland, Sonia Massey. 3 out of 150 is crazy. I'm not no mathematician, but what are those odds? What's up, C? Hey, girl. How you doing? Let's see. Can I say something about slavery? It's a touchy subject, but U.S. was not the first to have slaves. I know that, Raul. I do know that. But what I'm talking about, I'm going to educate you for free, gently. What I'm talking about is chattel slavery. Now, chattel slavery is different from other forms of slavery because chattel slavery was, they took us from one place, right? They took us from the continent of Africa. They dropped off some of us in the Caribbean where they still were able to hold on to some of their traditions and their views and their traditions. And then they dropped us off, right? And then we start growing up in capacity, but then we never got to leave slavery. That's the thing. Now, there was other places that had slavery where you get 7 years of indentured servitude, but who took us from Africa? It was not America. Well, it started with the Dutch, actually. It started with the Dutch and I believe Spain? So it started with the Dutch, which were traditionally, what? What were they? Portuguese. Thank you. Okay, started with the Portuguese, but the Portuguese were still part of, like, they also have a lot of their influences from Germany, have influences from Germany, Dutch as well, Spain. See? And I get that. But then America got it. I appreciate you helping me get it together. But then America got it, and we turned into a whole different thing, boo. They turned it into one of the biggest money makers in America. At one point, slavery outpaced trains, any other manufacturing. It was America's lifeblood, honey. Everything was built on it. Even the way our roads were built on it. Life insurance was built because of slavery. But it's all of America, only the South. Yeah, no, like they're not all America. No, not all America. True enough. Why do people always try to downplay what it's been through? Because they're scared of having to. This is what I think. I think they're scared to reckon within themselves that they don't see us as human either. Just a little bit. Because like you have to ask yourself this question, Raul, would you be a black person? Like literally, would you trade any of you look like you got a little brownness in you too. Would you really change and become a black person today? Knowing everything that goes on in our culture, everything that happens in America. And to me, if you can honestly just say it to yourself and be like, no, I wouldn't, you know why you wouldn't. And that's because being black in America, we have always been treated with a level of second-class citizenship, maybe third. Like everything around America has been built off keeping black people out. But let me keep answering your questions. No, it wasn't all America because not all America was full up with, white settlers. Like it took a little bit of time for us to traverse, honey. There was a lot of people. There was the Native Americans. What did they do to the Native Americans? They eradicated their food source. They killed them with disease. And don't get me wrong. I don't hate white people. I don't hate white people at all. I love white people. I'm gonna use something that white people. I got some of my friends are white, but when I say that, I mean it in all honestly. I love white people. I have a lot of white friends. I have friends who happen to be white, and they understand that slavery has done a number on our psyche. I embrace my Black Americans. I just embrace American urban culture. But again, and that's built off of Black culture. You know what I'm saying? But can't embrace American urban culture. Well, American urban culture is Black culture. And I'm not going to give you no hate. I'm not going to give you anything. I appreciate you having a conversation because I think that's one thing we do lack as a people because we've gotten into so many echo chambers where we don't actually talk to each other and we don't have conversations. You have to be willing to hear someone and not in order to have a conversation, you want to be able to hear someone not to win, but to understand. But the one thing, I'm sorry, sorry, Raul, you're never going to convince me that slavery wasn't as bad as it was. Okay. That's just one thing. So I'm just gonna be real with you. But the reason why I stand on this hill because racism and slavery built this country. And the reason why it was different, back to that, it was different because you take a whole race of people, right? Whole group of Africans from one country, and you separate them from everything that is Black. Everything that is African, Yoruba traditions, West African, Europe, everything that we had there, and we no longer have it. Mind you, there's people who are Caribbean, Tainos, people with in Puerto Rican, Dominica, Haiti. They got to keep some of their indigeneity, where we as Black people were not able to keep their indigeneity. We weren't able to keep our names. Like if you seen what's that movie called Roots? He couldn't keep Kente. He had to become Toby. And that's different. We weren't able to keep any of the things that kept us rooted in our homeland. And then when we come here and we can't keep anything here in the country that we created, we helped build for the freezy, honey, for the free. African Americans are the only group of people who've never gotten reparations for what America has done to them. There's Native Americans, they were able to get some of their land even though they had to walk the Trail of Tears for it. That's fucked up. Japanese, when they had the Japanese internment camps, they were able to get reparations for what was done to them unjustly. They weren't even in Japan when that ish happens, but they got put into into concentration camps. God willing, currently there's no known people that have indigenous Taino. They were all murdered. But I could have sworn that there's still a group of people that claim Taino as their culture. And there may be some people that still have it. Because we don't know. I'm not no DNA person, but there's people who claim Taino culture as well. I studied anthropology and I have a degree in psychology. I got to put it on somebody. You know what I'm saying? Today's Puerto Ricans are not Tainos. Can you please run for office? I'm scared. I've been actually thinking about trying to run for some, or at least getting more into civics because it's scary. Because as I stated in the beginning, that I am a feminist, but the definition of feminist is really wanting equality for all. I want what's best for all people. Not that I know what's best for all people, but I will be willing to listen to what people need to create what's best. If it doesn't hurt anyone, then hurt anyone physically, mentally, spiritually, and I feel I was always missing one metaphysical in one. But anyway, but Raul, sorry. But yeah, so you take a group of people away from their roots and then you don't want to give them an opportunity to get rooted here. You realize after slavery, over 100 Black communities were burnt down or burnt or dismantled, or a whole lake put on top of that. It wasn't just Tulsa. It wasn't just Lake Lanier. Like, we have always tried to stand on our own 2 feet, but then it was taken away from us because of Black codes, Jim Crow, everything. It's just a crazy time in the world. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, back to what I was saying. But I appreciate you having that conversation with me, Roro. I hope you stay. I hope you learn something. Hope you're willing to what's the word I'm looking for? Willing to open up your mind to an idea that doesn't center whiteness and white supremacy. It's just, It's all in us. I'm speaking as myself. Like, I had to decolonize my mind. I had negative, "Hey, love you." I have very, negative views of my own Blackness. I had negative views of homosexuality. I had negative views of other religions. I had to decolonize myself because it's decolonization. You're comparing something to an idea that is impossible to white supremacy. You're comparing everything you know to a impossible idea that is not real. Supremacy is not real. There's nobody better than anyone ever. We just choose to create these hierarchies so we can have somebody to be under us. And that's one of the so this is where I have an issue, where Puerto Rico always try to claim Taino instead of the real roots. Well, I don't know much about Puerto Rico, but I do know, don't they share a name? No, it's Dominican Republic, Puerto Rico. I'm not gonna go. My dad always told me not to speak on something that I don't know 100% about, but I don't know that much about. But if that's something that's very passionate and for you, but think about why there aren't any Tainos. Shouldn't you be glad that they at least want to remember and try to hold on to something cultural after all this time? I know that. I'd be happy that they want to hold on to something cultural that was erased by white supremacy or slavery. Or I'm not 100% familiar on the history of Puerto Rico. I would have to educate myself. See, I'm willing to do the work. That's all we're asking. That's all we're really asking. Just do the work. Listen to a podcast, read a book, honey. Listen to a Puerto Rican creator. I'm sorry, y'all. My shirt keeps showing my brow. I'm trying to be demure and dainty. The last Taino that was killed in Mexico when he fled from PR to Cuba and lastly murdered in Mexico. Right, but who was he murdered by, babe? Who was he murdered by? And why was he murdered? Because that was a way to eradicate someone's cultural identity through blood. Why did they want to eradicate that? Because they didn't want that person to have any claim over the land, more than likely. You know what I'm saying? Same thing with Native peoples. Like, they try to get rid of America has eradicated so many Native tribes. He was being eradicated by the Spaniards. And why? Why? We got to keep asking ourselves why. Let's go deeper. Why was that? What was that one person's existence would have damaged? It would have damaged their ideas. It would have not been able to tell the stories of what that man saw, whatever ideas of grandeur that was placed. Like, they literally, was it Columbus? It was one colonizer that used astrology, trick a whole bunch of native people into believing that he was a warlock. To think that person was all powerful. Why? We gotta ask ourselves why. Why was that so important? But anyway, all right, I've got on a little bit of a tangent. I'm on live on TikTok and I'm also on live on my other thing, but right now I don't think there's anybody on my other thing. But anyway, so what I was talking about, and thank you, Raul. Let's see, Chief Haughty Spain was trying to colonize the Caribbean islands. Colonize because he wanted to take over, and the Tainos didn't want to take over. Again, I don't understand what we're really, not really arguing about, but what we're really talking about. But yeah, it was Columbus and the Blood Moon. I don't really know what we're really getting the point of this, but I appreciate the conversation, which they finally did. Halsey was warning the rest of the different tribes. Yeah, yeah. And are we in favor of what he did or not? Like, I don't understand. Why are you mad at Puerto Ricans for claiming Taino heritage? Anyway, I'm not actually. This is not your show. This is mine. Forgot. Just sit back and relax, Raul. Have a good time. Anyway, so I was talking about just what's going on, how there was so many dangers because of all the ice that we got during the weekend of my birthday. Call it ice apocalypse. But my area didn't get it. Nashville got it. Some parts of East Chattanooga, East Tennessee got it, but North Georgia didn't get it until this week. And even then, honey, it was like last weekend. But anyway, it's just been 40 has been difficult. 40 has been a little bit difficult. Has it been so far, the last 6 days? It's been fun. But seeing the world collapse on itself and reverting back into old ways of treating people is crazy. Some of the other things I felt that were so, like, I felt hearing mothers screaming and just like, oh my God, they're here. And then I felt myself, I don't want to say jealous. I felt myself just upset at how much people were just so upset about Alex and Renee and not mentioning Keith and not mentioning the Haitian man that recently died in ICE custody. These people are not criminals. And we're also forgetting what criminal, like, immigration, being an immigrant here illegally is not a criminal issue. It's actually civil. And so treating these people like they murdered somebody and not treating them like the person who has 94 convictions, 91 convictions. Like, it's crazy. Like, are we in the upside down? Like, bad is good and good is bad? Like, it's crazy. The level of, like, but I say this, for the bad things come good things. God, don't let the evil prevail. Honey, I hope so. I'm reading stuff from 2000. I hope God doesn't let these evil things prevail, but I will say this one thing. Not trying to start no shit, Raul. Inactivity. Inactivity. I'm still here. Sorry. Entering illegal is not criminal, but entering illegal, no, it's a crime, but it's a civil crime. It's not a crime that should be punishable by being locked up for days and months and weeks in a cell that is only meant to hold people for 12 hours. It's a federal crime. Google it. Google it. I would Google it, but I'm not doing that work for free. It's not a federal crime. Anyway, I got other things to do. I will look it up later. And if you're right, I will send you a message. All right, you were right. If it makes your little heart swell 10 times its normal size. But anyway, so I want the world to treat itself. I want us to treat each other better than how we can. And seeing these women and children, it's the thing that I was talking to my friend about. It's the lack of empathy. That's the lack of empathy. Like, I see people crying and being so devastated, and then see people lack the empathy that this man died for no reason. They literally disarmed him and then shot him in the back. And I was just like, whoa, they treat white people like that now? Shook the hell out of me. Especially white men. But then you see that the part that gets me, the like people who are still very much rah, sis, boom, bah, ICE, are being like, well, he shouldn't have been outside exercising his Second Amendment. So y'all down about the Second Amendment? Y'all want the Second Amendment gone? But y'all just what? It's just the mental gymnastics. How do y'all do that? Like, I almost wish I was able to do that. But that mental gymnastics that y'all are able to do, honey, to contort yourself to feel justified and being okay that a man lost his life when he was just trying to protect people? That man was just trying to protect two women. And y'all claim that y'all care about women so much and their sensibilities that he was literally trying to protect somebody from getting maced in their face for doing their inalienable rights per the Constitution, the right to assemble, to right to protest, freedom of speech. Our government is not supposed to be able to question our freedom of speech. That's why I do this, because as unperfect as America is, we have the freedom of speech where a lot of places don't. And I gotta use it before we lose it. Because you ain't finna be finding no videos of me saying rah, sis, boom, bah, dice with no D. You know what I'm saying? Not finna do that. I'm not gonna do that. It's just upsetting. I feel like we can do so much better as a country. I just can't help it. Now I have to actually look and see if being undocumented in the U.S. is a crime. Like, it's technically a crime, but I know it's considered a civil offense. Undocumented presence in the U.S. is only criminally punishable if it occurs after an individual was previously formally removed from the United States and then returned without permission. So that's interesting. I never knew that. Can undocumented criminals have rights? So the Constitution guarantees due process to all persons, not just citizens. This means no non-citizens, including undocumented migrants, are entitled to fair treatment under the law that do not entering port of entry. When you enter the states, entering a port of entry, where cannot have position of one. Now, no, I get that, but according to the American Civil Liberties Union, if you are undocumented in America, you are still you should still be treated with fair treatment under the law, right? So fair treatment on the law. Again, with due process. And they're also taking people who are actually in the process of getting their citizenship. What about those people who are in court and they stop them from taking their oaths? They're still wrong? It's illegal and automatically deportable. And your name is Chavez. Like, how is that? Like, that's crazy. Man, that's crazy, honey. Your name is Raul Chavez. Good. Not necessarily says it has to be. Like, it's crazy. If an undocumented immigrant is caught in the U.S., they face serious consequences, including deep detention by Immigration and Customs, removal to their home department, and fights. I don't know you people. I don't know you. What is the difference between illegal and undocumented? Undocumented refers to someone lacking legal papers to reside in the country, while illegal immigrant describes an action unlawful entry or presence, but may prefer undocumented because being documented a civil violation, being undocumented is a civil violation, isn't the same as committing a crime, though both situations include lacking legal status and can lead to deportation. The core difference lies in perception. Undocumented focus on the status of the missing paperwork, while illegal implies a criminal act, which isn't always accurate. For visa overstays or unauthorized entry, according to many legal and advocacy groups. Let's see. Illegal describes an action, illegal entry, illegal presence, rather than labeling a person. Confusion. Many people are undocumented are often labeled illegal, creating a false equivalency. So there's nuance there. So there's people who overstay their visas, which is a lot of folks, not just people who are of Hispanic descent, but I'm talking about Hispanic descent because people who of Hispanic descent are they were the first people to be criminalized in this situation. Now they're going out for Haitians, which to me, they're going to use as a reason to get rid of people who are like me and the Somalians, because do we really know the difference? You come in through the border wall and undetected, you are illegal entry. Yeah, that's illegal entry. I get it. I get what you're saying, honey. It makes sense. But they are still supposed to have due process, given the right to legal representation, and they're just being hauled off in handcuffs going to places that's not even their original homeland. There was actually an American citizen taken over there. Like, it's just, as much as you want to, I'm trying not to fight. Lord, life, I had to fight. I just don't like people. I just don't like it when people forget their own humanity just to uphold some legal law. Because, like with undocumented citizens, like people who are not undocumented, they still pay their taxes. They still, they contribute over $100 billion into our economy. Like, they prop our economy up. And then you have people who literally don't pay taxes, making the rules that they don't actually adhere to. In 91, I was involved in an operation saving Haitian migrants to Guantanamo Bay Naval Base. 91, I was involved in an operation saving Haitians migrating to Guantanamo Bay Naval Base. I saved roughly. Well, that's awesome. Good for you. But I get that. So that's dope. So why I received a humanitarian medal? Awesome. But why are you so it's just so weird. I get the whole should, would, coulds, and I understand what you're saying. It's just that we are better than this. And you don't see anything wrong with the way that it's being processed and how people are doing this. The complications from color guard and complications from color guards. You just don't see anything wrong with how people are being treated. I tell you why, and if you give me a chance to explain. How about this? Let me finish my stuff, because this is, again, Raul, it's not your show. I'm interested, though. I'm interested, but this is my shit. I appreciate you, though. And I went to look at it, and, I even gave you a little property prop. Okay? But anyway, I wasn't trying to argue with Mr. Raul there, but he had some points, but I feel like I still got better ones, but it's still my show. But he made a point, how things should be is not how they are. And the one thing it should be, and how it actually is constitutional, is that that people who are facing deportation and facing all this violence from a mass Gestapo. Like, I know history. People who are in mass don't be meaning no good. AK, KKK. They were a state sanctioned at one point. They were a state sanctioned. Police started out as slave patrols. Hearing people like saying that they can just come in your house without a warrant, that's also in the Constitution. And it also says that people who are in America coming over here undocumented or illegal still should still receive treatment under the Constitution, no matter where they come from. Be treated fairly. And again, that means due process, make sure there's a warrant, fair treatment. Where's the checks and balances? Well, I'm not seeing those anymore. It's scary because again, like if they can do that to a person who looks like Alex and a person who looks like Renee, and they've been doing it to people like us for years, for centuries, like what's gonna stop them? And the only thing that will stop them is us. I'm not saying any violence. I'm not condoning violence. I'm not. I got this book. Little kid children's book. God damn it. Oh, it's a beautiful book. Little children's book about rising up. What is the difference between Simone that filled out the proper paperwork and someone that breaks in? Again, my show. I don't know. But that's a good question. We'll talk about it later. So I got this book called Rise Up, and it talks about the different forms of protesting. There's art. I also think now in 2026, there should be a form of petty protest that I love when people sending random things to people, like a whole bunch of letters or leaving carts full at Target. That's just crazy. But it just talks about different forms of protest and writing books, songs, taking action. Doing something is better than doing nothing. Like I said, I am about the liberation of all people. And I'm not really a retribution girl. White people are so scared of like black people retributing against them. I was like, if that was the case, we would have been took y'all asses out in 1895. But no, we just moved on. We went to different places, tried to start different homes in different locations, and we couldn't live peacefully because a lot of times people tend to see black and brown bodies as a commodity. Like I don't understand. I don't know if people understand that. Even when we're like, the reason why people get so mad about like seeing a black woman in a soft life and being happy is because how is a chair supposed to be happy? That's a toolbox. You know, like this person, she's supposed to be working for free and giving over her life and her energy for free. Why should we should care about this woman being happy? Because like the idea of our humanity is still, it's not always respected. A lot of people don't really want to believe that and accept that that's how they feel. And they see the same thing with a lot of these people, these immigrants who come over legally through ports of entry or they overstay a visa. Why aren't we doing the same to people who don't look like Hispanics? There's several white people who have overstayed a visa or two. You can't tell me Mr. Tesla himself ain't overstayed the visa, honey. Time or two. You know, he got money, but still he can do whatever he want to. I feel like the one thing, Mr. Raul, that we're probably focusing on two different things. Like you're focusing on, yes, those are the rules of law, but instead of looking about how to treat people better is more important on what the law is. The law was written so long ago when we didn't see people with the same humanity glasses on. And I say that as a person who didn't necessarily see her own blackness with the same amount of humanity that I see now. I'm okay to say that. It's been hard decolonizing my mind from harmful ideology that tells me that black people need a little extra more, punishment, extra more fury, extra more fight. Just follow you. Thank you for following me, Mr. Raul. Lord, having people in my life got me off a little bit. I was forgetting. Okay, we can talk about the Grammys. Let's talk about the Grammys real quick. The Grammys, it was a great night for hip hop with the Grammys. I didn't watch the Grammys. The only thing I watched from the Grammys was that tribute to D'Angelo, which I thought was beautiful. I don't know if anybody are D'Angelo fans, but D'Angelo, God rest his soul, was one of my favorite not R&B, but more neo soul. R&B. I'm not a music aficionado, but I definitely thought the loss of him was palpable. And I think again, because this is a black show, when we talk about black shit over here. I feel like we don't talk enough about how black music has gone so globally. How shit K-pop ain't nothing but fucking Korean version of fucking hip hop. Let's be real. They be singing though, honey. Ooh, they got some good smooth little R&B voices. I like that. I really don't really got much to say about the Grammys. I'm really looking for. I heard that Bad Bunny won, and people are like, we don't have ice ready for him. I was like, y'all dumbass motherfuckers. Sorry. Puerto Rico is an American territory. He's American. But considering what they've done to two Americans and several American people, it really don't matter. They don't care. I just want y'all to realize that I guess I'm just saying what I'm saying because it's Dice would not know D. They're being used to scare us. They're really being used to scare us. They're propping up laws that are not meant to really protect us. They're meant to put us into a fearful state of being. We need to really start trusting each other again because our government is not the government shit of ain't the government of 2008 at least. Time in 2008. 2008 was good. 16 was great. Then 16 and beyond, hun, took a downward turn. We can be better than this. This is all I'm trying to say. Mr. Raoul, if you're still there. Hey, Freddie, if you're still there. I hope you're still here. Hope you enjoyed the show. Let me see. You still here, Freddie? Hi, Freddie. Anyway. Hey, Becca. What you doing? How you doing? What's up? Thank you. Hey, girl. I was like, who is this? My girl, how you doing? Not girl. Yeah, your username out of order, girl. But let's be it. How you doing, sweetheart? Fixing to eat a nap before work. Girl, I got one more day before I have to go in. Don't tell nobody I'm talking about crazy stuff now at work. I need my job. Cause no shade, I will block you. I love you though. You can text me. I'm serious. I'm serious about my shit. I need my job, honey, but I still feel like I have I have my constitutional rights to freedom of speech, but freedom of speech doesn't actually protect you from your job because your jobs are not the government. Just gonna say that. Promise, but yeah, I see you tomorrow. Not see, but you know what I mean. I know what you mean, Booski Boo. Well, you enjoy your food and you enjoy your nap, okay? Thanks for stopping by. But yeah, what else should I say? America needs to do better. We have a beautiful, wonderful constitution that gives us so many inalienable rights in our country, and it doesn't make sense that we're going backwards with the treatment of people who are considered less. I was like, don't you realize they contribute over $100 billion to the economy a year, and we're deporting people who work the jobs that none of y'all mother truckers want to work? As Dave Chappelle said it on SNL when Trump won the first time, he said, y'all want to pick your own strawberries. And if they made iPhones in America, it'd be $10,000, honey, because we're not going to work for that level for what they pay people, these wages, which are atrocious, honey. If inflation wasn't so bad, we would probably be able to get by, but some in the milk ain't clean, y'all. That's what I'm trying to say. Like, I might not be saying in the most eloquent of ways, but I'm just being real. Something in the milk ain't clean. America is going through a reckoning, and the people who do not want America to reconcile what they have done to us as a people, and not just us, but every marginalized person, black, white, other, brown, woman, female, them, theys. We deserve the best that this world can have, but people who are so scared of losing just a modicum of power are holding on to these ideas of white supremacy and patriarchy so tight that they are punishing people that look like you. Come on, Cleta. Come on. Let it go. We can do so much better as a country. Environmentally, we're supposed to be stewards of this earth. We're not supposed to be conquerors and cutting down every single goddamn tree. Like, we could just be so much better. We could just be so much better. And I know it. Like, when you see like people out there in Minnesota trying to take care of each other, Alex Peretti was trying to save 2 women, and his last words was, "Are you okay?" And he did have a gun on, but he didn't pull it nary a time where he could took care of folks. Because he wasn't thinking like that. He wasn't thinking murder on his mind. He was thinking saving folks. And then don't get me wrong, like what makes me so like sad, what I was trying to get to at one point, talking about Alex Peretti and how people are just like, oh my God, crazy. The government's killing folks. Like, oh my God. Hello, Sophia, TikTok 25. Like, oh my God, America's doing this. They've been doing it to us for so long, but it's because y'all think we're just criminals in the first place. How y'all treated George Floyd, making y'all memes, making fun of I Can't Breathe. Y'all had George Zimmerman signing Skittles and Arizona teas and hoodies. Y'all had a thing. I didn't see this because the algorithms were algorithm. Y'all had Trayvon Martin challenges where y'all laid in the ground in a hoodie with Skittles sprinkled around your heads. What the fuck? The fact that y'all can't take, y'all show people who did that, y'all can dish it out, but y'all can't take shit. Welcome to being a nigga. We have been dealing with people treating us like our deaths mean nothing, and y'all getting the same treatment. Y'all don't know how to fucking take it. That's the part that got on my nerves. It didn't get on my nerves, it hurt my feelings. Because I know what y'all gonna do. Because the playbook has been written because y'all been doing it with us 150 times. Every time an unarmed Black person is murdered by pew pew to murder, whatever, I'm bad at this. I actually need Trayvon. Wow, that's amazing. That's crazy. How do I get a notification when you go live? I think you have to ring a bell. There's like a little bell, something notification. But what I can do is, I don't know. I don't know how to use TikTok, baby. I'm learning myself on the fly, but I figure it out. But that's beautiful. And so one of the people on TikTok said he knew Trayvon Martin. He would have been 30 plus. Yeah, it's pretty easy. It's like a little bell notification, I think, on my profile or something. But that's what they did. And then so what they do is they darken the skin, they give you dark pictures, and then they talk about that one time that you were a bad person. They did that to Renee. They tried to do that with Alex, and where he was out a week before he got taken out. He, was protesting. He kicked a door, or he kicked the thing in. And there was, he still was doing his Second Amendment thing, and he never once pulled it out on anyone. And the gaslighting, the blatant gaslighting is crazy. I'm just like, that's why I was in the bed, honey, on my birthday. I couldn't do it because I'm just like, it's the gaslighting. They're lying. They said that he went there to attack, but he didn't even pull out a gun, but did it. I don't know what's going on. This is crazy. And people will contort themselves to feel just one iota of supremacy that you're really doing the right thing. You're really supporting the right thing. Because he was a liberal. He was a libtard, crybaby, snowflake. The fuck on. Come on, y'all. And so what's gonna kill me is that if I see one person kneel in silence after y'all kick Colin Kaepernick off his bad football team for kneeling for his fallen people, I'm probably gonna break my teeth because we can't do anything, but others can. That's cool. It's cool when they do it, but when we do it, fuck us. You know what I'm saying? That's great. That's crazy. Crazy, 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 crazy where we live in. Anyway, hey Bill, thank you for joining. But anyway, I figured out how I actually knew Trayvon. That is crazy. I heard he wanted to be a pilot. That's crazy. He probably would have been flying the planes. But, he has become a martyrdom. And then what y'all do to us as Black folks, y'all gonna be like, oh, well, he was a criminal. He shouldn't have been outside. Why can't we do shit? We can't run. We can't sleep in our own beds. We can't call the police when we're having a moment of psychosis. Like, y'all really just don't want us to do anything, to be real. Y'all just want us to go back to work, and I ain't doing this shit for free. I'm doing this for free in hopes that, something pop off. And also, who knows? Who knows? Voice of a revolutionary. I wish my mom was here. My mom, she's gone for 80. She passed away, just a couple of years ago. Coming up on 2 years, and I miss her. She used to say, how's your pie going? She was so old, just so cute. Anyway, I've been on for almost 2 hours. I think I'm gonna finish it up right at 2 hours. And thank you, Freddie, for sitting with me. I hope you really enjoyed my little diatribe. I got other podcasts. He was just a kid like my son living in a domestic violent household. Yeah, and that's sad. That's sad. And he still didn't deserve to die. Because the one thing about that pisses me off, because people who claim tough to like white supremacy, they think they have the right to police other people. That's why you get Karens. Right. He didn't deserve nothing. Like, he was a baby. He was a sweet little kid, regardless of what he was going through. You know what I'm saying? And but thing is, like I said, like people who defend and love white supremacy so much, they have a tendency to think that they can police other people's bodies, black and brown. That's why you see Karens just doing their thug thizzle, going out. What are you doing here? What are you here for? Where do you live? Bitch, I'm not gonna tell you where I live. You're a stranger. Stranger danger. Care? Not to tell you shit, bitch. I pay rent. All right. I've been waiting for that to happen. He didn't have both parents. It don't see, I hate that fucking argument more than anything. I hate that argument more than anything. I don't know him, but he didn't have both parents. But it don't matter. What was he doing? Sorry, you about to get me real mad. His parents failed him. No, what failed him was the person who thought what fucking failed him was the person who thought he had the authority to take a person's life when he wasn't doing anything but walking with Skittles and motherfucking Arizona tea in his hand, and he shouldn't have been outside. Why can't he be outside? He wasn't doing nothing. Sorry. I'm not sorry. I'm not sorry for getting mad. His parents failed him. Don't piss me off, Raul. Okay? We just got here. Sorry. I'm trying not to be one of those rage baby persons or whatever. Curfew should have saved him. No, what should have saved him is that person who had no reason, who was told to not go after him and not act like he was superior and had the authority to tell this little black boy what to be doing with his own life. He wasn't a police officer. He wasn't nothing. He was a fucking... See, don't piss me off. Don't put the blame on the parents. We put the blame on the person that took his life for no reason. And who got off scot-free for killing a child with Skittles and a fucking Arizona tea and a hoodie on. That's what failed him. Our government, the people that empowered this person to believe that he was able to do whatever the fuck he wanted to, failed him. They always say that comply. Honey, we have complied and still died, so I don't know what else to fucking tell you. You know what? Again, I'm glad you knew him, and I hope that you know him, the best of him, not the him that they showed with his skin darker to enhance his blackness. To have, like, because this is what they do. They did that with every black person that got killed by the police. They found out that, Mike Brown was a tall little angry dude, but he pushed somebody, so he deserved to get shot in the back. Philando Castile was pulling out his registration card to tell everybody that he was legally holding, he had the legal right to possess an arm, conceal and carry. And they shot him. He didn't even have the gun in his hand. He was just pulling out his ID. He was complying. They shot him in front of his family online. Not saying it's justified, but he could have been saved if his parents would have been more on top. Yeah, again, they could have, but also he could have been saved if this person didn't feel that he had the authority over a young black man's body and took him out. Let's not blame parents. Let's blame the person who thought he had the ability, the authority, when they told him, no, sir, please don't go after this man, this young boy. Let the police handle it. But no. He felt like, why is this black boy exercising his God-given right, his willpower to be a whole pure person regardless of his age? He wasn't doing nothing. But he felt that he had authority to tell him that he couldn't be out here. See, people just don't leave people alone. And that's what, to me, that's the trick of white supremacy. It gives you these ideas, this false sense of idea, the false sense of grandeur that you can tell people what to do regardless of you having any authority over anyone's body or place of privilege. Because back in the day, they could. You could indiscriminately kill someone, Emmett Till. You have no control over crime. Our job is to keep him away from being dangerous situations. So I don't understand. You have no control over crime. Yes, I do have control over crime. I don't commit it. It's easy. I just don't do it. If I see somebody that I feel that is walking in the street in the middle of the night, I just mind my fucking business. He was walking. Was Trayvon Martin brandishing his Skittles like a deadly weapon? No. Don't piss me off, Raul. I was like, y'all just have this weird idea. Y'all just have this weird keep him away from being being in dangerous situations. He was walking with Skittles and an Arizona tea. What was the time it happened? It don't matter. What was the time it happened? It was at night. So you can't walk at night. We can't walk at night. We can't walk in day. We can't drive in cars. We can't do anything. It was at night. And was he actively committing a crime? No. And you know that they're not supposed, like, even if you're actively in the middle of a crime, you're not supposed to get shot by the police unless they fear for their life. Anyway, get high on the color. Yeah. This is fun. My dad said after being at midnight, the only people out in the streets are the ones looking for trouble. So you are a victim or you are the one causing trouble. He was the victim then. Avoid being the victim. But then you still have not even placed any of the responsibility on the guy who was outside. What the fuck was he doing outside? Why was he outside? Because he's a grown up? He had every right to be outside to accost a kid? Avoid being the victim. Man, y'all will torture ourselves in any way to... It's justifiable. It don't matter. You want your kid alive. Yeah, I want my kid. I don't got no kids alive. I don't got no kids. But still... It don't matter. It don't matter. Anyway, I'm not finna let Raul piss me off. He already did anyway. I'm trying not to get rage baited, but it does hurt my feelings because it's still this level. I hear this level of judgment over what a little boy was doing. A little boy with Skittles and Arizonas and a hoodie, just going. They're trying to get some Skittles. I wonder what time did he get killed? 10 years. Man, it's crazy. Timeline, sweetheart. He was a kid. He was just a little baby. And they like to show the picture of him. They'll never show no pictures of him smiling. And when you do, you're not going to let him be out at 3 a.m. at the age of 13. Regardless, he wasn't doing anything to get shot. That just still don't make no sense. He wasn't doing anything. What was he doing? That he felt the need? I'll find out later. Again, it's almost... Let's see. What have we learned here today, people? I don't know. But I appreciate y'all sticking around. Have you ever been held up by a 15-year-old? No. No. But even then, I'm not going to shoot somebody. And he wasn't being held up. What the fuck? Anyway, sorry. Homie had... I feel like most gang crimes are in that age range. Yeah. I don't know what this man is about. It's just be weird. Like, y'all were really trying to, like, defend y'all's ideas real hard. It's interesting. I'm glad we had this conversation. Change to a slightly different topic of the conversation. Change to a different slightly. Yeah, girl, I was trying to figure out what else I need to talk about. What you want me to talk about, Leisha Pooh? This is my first time doing TikTok and this, so I'm going to have to figure it out. Got me hot. Got me hot in the collar. What are you doing today, Alicia? Text me, because we should do dinner. I miss y'all. I might be going to trivia later. It's politics that gets us all overworked and make it a color thing, but it's not. Oh, maybe it is. You doing good. Don't let them provoke you. Thanks, boo. It's still a color thing, honey, Rose. It's always going to be a color thing. I wish I had the privilege of it not seeing this color. But it's definitely colored. And don't come on a black woman's profile trying to tell us what, hey, cousin, what's up? Don't come on a black woman's profile telling her, I love when folks be like, it's not a color, it's not a race thing. Okay, Bert. I love when people speak from a level of privilege that they don't ever want to come down from. It's nothing, Raul. What's buzzing, cousin? Honey, I'm trying to get some of this money. Get some of these people's money by going live. Anybody, if y'all are still in here, go ahead and like the screen and tell people to come on in. Let's talk some stuff. What should I talk about, cousin? What's on your mind? Do you need any advice? You know I'm really smart. I'm like our other cousin. Carrie Rose. I liked your talk. You're respectful and you listen. I try to. It's just very hard, Raul, because like some of this shit is still very sensitive. The hardest part for me is that I see people losing again is the lack of empathy. Like empathy is very, very important. It's the ability to see people hurting and understand that they are hurting and to listen to them. And I don't know if we accomplished anything, but it was nice talking to you anyway. I refuse to fall into the trap. But yeah. But Alicia, give me a topic for real. Throw something out. I need something else to talk about. Or I'm finna go out and do some content. I do need to do another Black History dance. Also, I'm trying to learn how to skate. Ooh, skating is scary. Cousin, you still on here? You know how to skate? But you are a very tall man. I wouldn't want to skate if I was your tall. Jamai, Mikhail, you back. Of course, we accomplished something. We understand that America is full of different opinions, but we can still. Yes, that is important. That is important. I do agree. Like, we have to coexist. We have to be able to live and talk to each other. Not because I don't do skates. Honey, I'm close to that. And you are tall. At least I'm closer to the ground, honey. I feel like falling from your height of like you're about 6 feet, huh? That'll be the terrifying thing. I bet you feel like you falling forever. I'm trying to learn how to skate. I need to get some exercise for real. But for real though, but true enough, how you learn it. I've been skating in the house on carpet where I feel safe. And then I got a knee brace and then I got an elbow. I need to get some elbow pads and some wrist pads and I'm gonna get a helmet. Cause I ain't fucking around. Like, I really want to learn how to skate again. Cause like, didn't when we were young, we used to skate all the time, or at least ride bikes and go far places on them dang quads. But yeah, we gotta learn how to coexist for real, like we used to. I feel like though there is a level of dissent that is implemented that people don't want us to get as close as we really can be. But my point is, politicians don't want us to coexist so that we can use media. Now, okay, Raul, I can fuck with you on that. It's an old tactic. Yes, that is really it. That is really it. It is an old tactic for us to divide and be conquered. I thought I was the only one who didn't. Everyone else does for sure. Skate? Well, yeah. I think we're more bike people. I think y'all were probably more bike people then. Cause we stayed on them bikes. But yeah, we have to learn to coexist with each other. Like, we ain't going nowhere. Honey, we ain't going nowhere. Like, we really have to come together stronger as a people because, like, dividing us into these little small sections of who did what and what for, it's not getting the job done. Like, we can do better. We have done better-ish. It's cracking the community, honey. The Black community has been deviated from so many paths forever, honey. And all we want to do is just live. All we wanna do is just live. Can y'all like my live for me? I'm trying to get some of TikTok's money. I appreciate that. Compared to other countries. I agree. But also I think that we do live in a lot of America propaganda because a lot of countries still do live pretty well. We're pretty young. I think a lot of it is like the American exceptionalism is a little bit of a propaganda for us to be like, yeah, we're the best. Honey, we're not the best, but we could be better. Not only have they divided everything, but that is further divided by subcultures. Yes. And there's nothing wrong with subcultures. I think the problem is that we don't have our eyes on the proper enemy in a way. The enemy is division. The enemy is honestly money, which ain't real. People want more of it, and it's crazy that 11 people hold the most wealth in America or in the world? Crazy. Like, and you can't pay us better? Like, the fact that Elon Musk has more money than God is crazy. That he would have to live over 230 years to spend it. It's crazy. And y'all can't raise, and inflation is so high, but nothing else can go up, and we're still living off of what, 2000, like, it just don't make no sense. We just live in a world that we could be so much better, but because of greed and power, not only I haven't been divided with anything but the subcultures, we're just divided by greed and power. And like most people, like, I would still work if I could live better. Like, I shouldn't be living paycheck to paycheck with a bitch with 2 degrees. Like, I did everything I was supposed to do. Millennials were told we were going to have a very linear bop to success. And we said, go to college, did that, check twice. honey. I'm thinking about going again to see if I can get a degree in something else to make me a little bit more cashola. We bought the pipe dream. Yes, honey. I sure thought I was going to have 2.5 kids by now. I thought I was going to have it at 27. Super just talking to you. Hopefully I'll catch you again. Yes, sir. Thank you, Mr. Raul. You have a great day. Be safe. Yeah, please be safe. Be careful. Y'all have a good one. Yeah, we were sold, oh, go to college. You're going to meet your husband in college. You're going to have your 2.5 kids and you can buy a house. And then bye-bye. And then, be it 30 years and we'll have equity and then we can send our kids to that college, and lo and behold, it ain't that easy, honey. It's been the most, I feel like our progression as millennials have been the most zigzaggiest. The zigazao is time of our lives, honey. Like, I got out of college, worked for $7.10, lived with two girls, but we had a time, honey. Apartment was $750 for 3 bedrooms, 2 baths. You can't get that for less than, what, $1,600 now? I accidentally changed the name of my account to the Adventures of Ada. All the things that I'm saying is only represented by cosines and tangents. But if you have children, now it ain't like, before y'all be like, it's not woke or nothing. It's just teaching kids how to write, honey. Teach kids how to write, crossword puzzles, coloring shit. Sorry. I keep forgetting. I'm such a cussy. I'm just a foul mouth girl. But they're so cute. You can get them on Amazon. I'm going to put them on TikTok Shop too. I'm still trying to figure out how to do TikTok. TikTok is confusing me. But yeah, so all of the views that I've been sharing today are part of my own personal brand, Cosines and Tangents. But I also write children's books called Adventures of Ada. This is the second book, Adventures of Ada in Kenya. We have Adventures of Ada in Nigeria as the first book. And then we have the third book in the chamber. We've been going through hell and high water, honey. My mom died. Her dad died. She got life, honey. Life been trying to take us under, but we're going to keep on keeping on, as my daddy would say. If Freddie is still here, hey, Freddie. Because my first apartment was 3 bedroom, 2 bedroom townhouse. 525. Oh, my God. 3 bedroom, 2 bed townhouse. What? Give me those days back, baby. That's when money went far. I used to be able to buy like a full month of groceries for at least $200. That's when the book, 2004, man, good times, man, it was good. Like, my money went a lot farther. And then 2020 hit after COVID, after we rebounded from COVID, that's when everything started just getting sky to the F high. Like, my previous job, I was making like $15 an hour. And I was able to live off of that. Like, I had a roommate. We had 2 bedroom townhouse, but I was still able to live off of $500, $15 an hour with a roommate. I used to be able to feed 6, 8 people under 25. That's crazy. And we should be able to go back there because one thing I know about America, we don't negotiate our prices. We don't negotiate our prices with other companies. Like, other countries can get cheaper groceries because they negotiate their prices with different companies. And you're in healthcare too, because you could probably speak to this, how our medical care, we don't negotiate our medical care. That's why everything's so fucking expensive. Like, the fact that we just got $35 insulin don't make no damn sense. When you can go to Mexico, you can go to Cuba, you can get all your medicines for fucking cents on the dollar because they negotiate their prices for their people. Hey, Miss Lonnie, how you doing? Thank you for joining. You look beautiful. Cheekbone. Hold on. See the cheekbones? Okay, I see cheekbones. Oh, you're beautiful. Thank you for stopping by. I don't know if you're still in here, boo. That's good times, man. Y'all share the live for me, please. I'm trying to get this money. Look, y'all know if y'all take care of me, I'll take care of you. If you're good to mama, mama will be good to you. Stop my cousin because you cousin, we family. But those countries aren't as regulated, in air quotes. True. True. Nobody's perfect, but I feel like we damn sure should be being able to do better than what we do now. And I also think that's still propaganda. I feel like that's America propaganda would be like, they're not as really get regulated. Okay, Bert. then we could do better. Then take what this country does better, take what this country does better, what we do better, and actually do it for the good of humanity and not the good of your pockets. But nobody want to do that. Everybody want to make money. Most of our regulations are a joke. I heard the medical field is crazy. I learned so much from my other cousin. And I bet since you actually work in a hospital too. Oh, what's it? Because of redirections. I didn't mean to redirect nobody. I don't remember saying anything. My bad. Did I redirect somebody? Am I still on? I guess so. I got a violation. What did I say? Redirect. Let me see what they said. So it's okay. Your live is not eligible for recommendation and is restricted in research because redirects users to purchase products outside its. Okay, I gotta put my books on there before I can ask y'all to do it. Okay, my bad. I'm still learning the rules. Let's see. Let's see. How do you get live rewards program? Get 2 more followers doing this live to be eligible for 0.5% of rewards. Oh, okay. 2 more followers. Okay. So if you are following me, can I get y'all, if y'all are in here, can y'all follow me? Or have other people follow me so I can make rewards? Invite. All right, cousins. I'm tired. I've been on this thing for 2 hours. Have made $0. But I got 2 new followers, so I take that. I remember not to tell y'all to go find my stuff anywhere else. I mean, just keep swimming. I will. I love swimming. I will, cousin. Thank you. Thank you for stopping by. Trying to figure out my way out of capitalism's dark, strong clutches. One step, one swim, one wave at a time. Anyway, y'all, thank you so much for joining Cosides and Tangents for a live. You can watch this on YouTube. Sorry. I don't know how to tell anybody how to do stuff. Let people know, share it, help your girl out, get out the clutches of capitalism. Anyway, y'all, I love y'all. I hope y'all have a great day. If no one told you that you are loved, then just know that you are loved. You are beautiful, you're funny, you are smart, and you are kind and important. And we just going to keep on keeping on and realize that we're not each other's enemy. Point blank, period. Anyway, y'all have a great day. Thank you so much for joining Cosines and Tangents. I'm going to put this on my anywhere you can find podcast, and it will be edited without me going off. My bra's showing because I got a terrible. I'm stuck. I keep hearing my mom's voice every time I see my bra. That's why I be like, oh no. Mama always got on me about that, girl. Put your bra up. So yeah, y'all have a blessed day. Thank you for sitting with me. Thank you for talking with me. And as always, I love you. And bye bye.